This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
Good afternoon. I'm Meredith Barrick, and though it's been fall on the calendar for almost 2 weeks now, today it finally feels like it. This is a view to our west. The sun is shining out there, but finally those temps have dropped. Meteorologist Todd Clausen is standing by to see what we can expect for the rest of our weekend.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there right now. We'll carry most of this weather over into the weekend. There's one little speed bump as we get into Sunday morning, but look at these temperatures. A far cry from where we were earlier in the week when temperatures at the noon hour are already in the mid to upper 80s. 63 right now in Indianapolis, 58 in Crawfordsville, as well as Lafayette. 63 is the current temperature in Columbus to go along with those comfortable temperatures. Lots of sunshine out there. Here's a live look outside, and you can see just a few fair weather clouds, and we'll see some clouds build in a little bit here throughout the afternoon hours. They'll just be those nice fluffy cumulus clouds, though. We are not expecting any widespread cloud cover whatsoever, and without any clouds, you don't have any precipitation, so that is the good news. We remain high and dry throughout the remainder of the day today. Should see our temperatures get up to about 68, 69 degrees this afternoon. And then this evening, if you're heading out to high school football or just to dinner, maybe on this Friday night, just know temperatures will cool off pretty quickly. In fact, by 10 p.m., we're down into the 50s. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, everybody should be in the 40s, anywhere from about 42 degrees in some of the outlying areas to about 47 degrees here in the city. Despite the cool start tomorrow, turns into a beautiful Saturday. We'll talk about that and look ahead to those rain chances on Sunday coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. Breaking this midday, the U.S. Supreme Court could be releasing a major ruling on abortion right in the middle of next year's campaign for president. Today, the court announced it would hear the case of a Louisiana law that requires abortion doctors to obtain admitting privileges from a hospital near a clinic. The court struck down a similar law from Texas in 2016, but this is the first abortion case to be argued since Justices Brett Kavanaugh and Neil Gorsuch joined the bench, solidifying a conservative majority. The Supreme Court will likely hear oral arguments early next year, with a ruling likely by next June. An update now on a shooting that left a 15-year-old dead. This all happened around 2:30 this morning at North Willow Apartments on Pemberton Circle. That's near 86th and Ditch Road on the north side of Indianapolis. Metro Police now tell us that shooting victim was inside a car with two other teens when he accidentally shot himself. The teenager died at the scene. Police say they want to use this tragedy to remind everyone to properly store their guns and to talk to young people about gun safety. We now know the woman accused of murdering her 10-year-old stepdaughter will go before a judge to determine whether she is mentally competent to stand trial. The next hearing in the case of Amanda Carmack is scheduled for next Friday. The 34-year-old is accused of killing 10-year-old Skylee Carmack, putting her in a plastic bag in a shed and then reporting her missing in Gas City. Amanda Carmack had initially said she wanted to act as her own attorney, but at her most recent hearing, a public defender filed documents saying she suffered from a mental disease or defect. New this midday, we now know the names of 3 people killed in a crash of a small plane that had taken off from Greenwood. The single-engine plane went down Thursday morning near an airport in Lansing, Michigan, as it was trying to land. This morning, investigators identified those who died in the crash. They were 67-year-old Timothy Joe Clark of Franklin, 51-year-old John Thomas Lowe of Greenwood, and Neil Allen Seago of Trafalgar. He was 46. 3 others who were on board the plane remain in the hospital. The FAA and National Transportation Safety Board are investigating the cause of that crash. The impeachment investigation is not slowing down in Washington. We're now seeing text messages from a diplomat expressing concern about U.S. pressure on Ukraine. It comes as President Trump is now publicly calling on both Ukraine and China to investigate his potential 2020 rival Joe Biden. As ABC's Rachel Scott tells us, a key witness is testifying to Congress in a closed session today.
A defiant President Trump digging in, asking yet another foreign country to investigate his potential 2020 rival.
China should start an investigation into the Bidens.
The president did not rule out asking Chinese President Xi directly to investigate the Bidens. The U.S. and China entangled in an ongoing trade war. Those talks pick up next week as Chinese officials touch down in Washington.
I have a lot of options on China.
The president already privately asked the leader of Ukraine to investigate Biden and his son, which launched an impeachment investigation.
It's wrong for a president of the United States to seek help from a foreign power in a presidential election.
But no White House transcript needed here. He's publicly doubling down.
They should investigate the Bidens.
The FEC chair tweeting out a reminder that federal law clearly states it's illegal to accept foreign assistance in connection with an election. And now new text messages obtained by ABC News reveal senior State Department officials using a potential summit between President Trump and the Ukrainian leader as leverage to get Ukraine to investigate the Bidens. Those messages appear to show U.S. officials even drafted a statement for the Ukrainians to announce their investigation into political processes of the United States with a specific link to Joe Biden's son. Today, Ukraine's top prosecutor announcing that they are taking another look at Burisma, the company where Joe Biden's son was on the board. Though the country's former top law enforcement official told the LA Times he had seen no evidence of wrongdoing by the Bidens that he could pursue. And as President Trump continues his attacks, his campaign is backing him up. A campaign official tells me that this weekend they will spend more than $1 million in ads specifically targeting the Bidens in key early voting states. Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
Basketball season is here, or at least the preseason is, and the Pacers are making some history right now. The Pacers are taking on the Sacramento Kings in the first ever NBA games to be played in India. The Kings ran out to a 13-point lead at the half, but the Pacers rallied at the start of the third quarter to close the gap. Right now, there is a little more than a minute left in the game, but the Pacers are trailing to the Kings 118 to 113. The two teams will play a second game in India tomorrow. We've seen celebrities fall victim to the Varsity Blues scandal, and now scammers are taking note from their mistakes, how you and your student athlete can avoid being their target. And a hitman in a murder-for-hire case is on trial. More coming up from Court TV on the killing of a well-known doctor and who prosecutors say paid to make it happen. Todd.
And Meredith, we spent much of this week talking about record high temperatures. As we transition from today into the weekend, we're going to be talking about seasonable temperatures. It's going to be sunny for the most part as well. We'll talk all about it coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. You're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6.
Wife and Fresh, new tonight on ABC.
It's time now for another RTV6 Consumer Alert. I'm joined by the Better Business Bureau's Tim Maniscalco. And Tim, we have watched a number of celebrities be charged after this college bribery scam, but now scammers are taking a note from that and using it on regular people.
Right. That whole incident that happened with the celebrities, that's just really just spawned a lot of scammers saying, hey, I can go to regular people and say, look, I've got a deal here. I can get your son or daughter into college. Let me work a little bit of magic here, and I'll do something for you. Bottom line is these people are going to take your money up front. They're not going to, or you're not going to get any sort of special consideration. They're not going to do anything for you. It's just a scam out there to try to get you to pay money and, you know, for you to be really disappointed. So just be very, very careful before you do anything like this. Do your homework, you know what the current scams are. If you do hire some sort of representative, and you really don't have to do that, just know who they are, get it in writing, never pay up front or with a cash or credit card or anything like that. And really, the way recruiting really works is, you know, the college coaches, they've got relationships with the high school coaches. Right. So if your son or daughter, if the high school coach thinks that they're good enough to play at that level, they're going to contact colleges and they're going to say, hey, you really need to take a look at, you know, this kid and see if they can play at that level. That's how most of this stuff works. You really don't need a representative to do that. If they're good enough to play in the college, some coach is going to find out, and, you know, then they're going to be offered a scholarship that way. So really, you don't have to do this kind of stuff. It's just something that is in the news, and the scammers are taking advantage of it.
Wow, just incredible. And as always, safest thing to do, just do it the right way. Just do it the ethical way. Exactly. All right, Tim, thank you so much. This has been another RTV6 Consumer Alert. This marching band member became a social media star last week after giving his all on the field. Just ahead, how this video earned him a big break on a pretty big show. And you might see the Queen this weekend, and you only have to drive to Noblesville. We'll meet some very special guests who are ready to take you back in time. But first, we're taking a live look over the circle right now. A beautiful, more fall-like day out there. The sun is shining and those temps have dropped. Todd Clausen will have your full Storm Team 6 forecast coming up. You're watching the news at noon on RTV6.
To schedule an in-person meeting.
Good afternoon. I'm Ashley Wilcott. We are in day 4 of jury selection in the case of Florida versus Jimmy Rogers. Rogers is accused of being the hitman in a murder-for-hire case in June of 2015. Prosecutors have charged him with first-degree murder, saying he broke into the home of a Florida doctor and bludgeoned her to death. Now, that doctor was Teresa Severs. She had just returned home from a family vacation when she was found after what appeared to be an ambush attack and burglary. Her husband was out of town with their 2 daughters. But now investigators say Severs' husband, Mark, hired his best friend, Curtis Wright, to murder his wife. Prosecutors say Wright traveled to Missouri to hire Jimmy Rogers. The pair then allegedly made the trip back to Florida to carry out the attack. Rogers' girlfriend is the one who tipped off police.
I asked him what he went down there for, and he said to make money. And then asked him how he was going to make money, and it was murdering Mark's wife. The only thing that I seen him pull out was the rolled up jumpsuit, dark blue jumpsuit.
And that's the jumpsuit that you showed me that you had to throw out the window.
Yeah, that he had me throw out the window.
Severs is being tried separately from Rogers. Both men face the death penalty if convicted. That's the latest for now. Now back to you.
Thank you, Ashley. And you can learn more about other cases around the nation right now at CourtTV.com. We are taking a look to the south right now. Todd, it is the day everyone has been waiting for. Fall has officially arrived weather-wise. We've all been looking at our calendars saying, hey, it's been here for a week or two now. But where's the weather to match?
And it didn't feel like it. 3 record high temperatures in a row at the beginning of the week. Yesterday was our transition day, and now, fall-like temperatures. Our normal high this time of year is now down to 70 degrees. And over the course of the weekend, that average high will fall into the upper 60s. Today, my forecast high is going to be 69 degrees. And so that is going to be right on par for where we should be for this time of year. So that is definitely good news for us here going forward in the forecast. The temperature right now sits at 63 degrees. And my camera behind it gave out, but that would show an absolutely beautiful picture of the Indianapolis area with lots of sunshine right now and just a few fair weather clouds that are going to be building in here across the region throughout the afternoon hours. 58 degrees, that's the current temperature. 65 in Bloomington, 58's the current temperature in Richmond, 59 in Peru, 58 in Lafayette. So these numbers are just very, very nice here as we enter the noon hour. And here's where they'll top off later on this afternoon, going up into the low to mid 60s from Indianapolis to the north. Some 70s will be a possibility in southern locations. The humidity is low. The winds are fairly light here throughout the day today, so you can get out there and just enjoy this nice stretch of weather that we're finally deserving across the areas. So here are the clouds that'll kind of build in throughout the afternoon. Again, these will just be those puffy cumulus clouds that'll start to develop here across the area throughout the course of the afternoon hours. You don't see any precipitation at all, so that's good news. All that precip is well off to our west. You don't have to worry about that whatsoever. So carry on with any plans this afternoon, this evening. If you're heading to some high school football games for the Friday football frenzy, you're in great shape. 64 degrees at kickoff. That's probably right around 7 o'clock for most games. And then temperatures will fall back down into the 50s as these games wrap up. So grab the jacket, especially once the sun sets. 58 is going to feel pretty cool out there. And then look where we go tomorrow morning. When you wake up, we're only in the 40s anywhere in central Indiana, about 45 in Lafayette, 48 in Bloomington. So Saturday gets off to a cool start, but with lots of sunshine throughout the day and a little more of a southerly wind tomorrow. That's going to bring the temperatures all the way up into the mid 70s. So it's a great day for us. Sunday, we run into some minor issues. We need some rain, and I do think we get some spotty showers in here throughout Sunday morning. And then as the day goes on, we'll start to see more in the way of sunshine. And some of these showers may sneak in here after sunset on Saturday. So Saturday daytime hours will be completely dry, but some scattered showers do linger into early Sunday morning before the clouds depart. So it's just about a 12-hour window for some spotty showers. All of them will be very, very light, so you don't really have to worry about them whatsoever. And then as we work our way into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, plenty of sunshine and highs still in the 60s and 70s. Meredith?
Todd, thank you. Come, me lords and ladies, it is time once again to travel back in time to the days of chivalry and valor. It is the 15th annual Indiana Renaissance Fair happening tomorrow and Sunday at the Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center in Noblesville. And with us to talk more about it are Emma Crenshaw and Molotov. I'm guessing that might not be your birth name. So let's talk a little bit about the fair and what people can expect when they come out this weekend.
there is a whole lot of entertainment going on at all times. There's music, there's Molotov, you can always catch him. Naughty Bits is going to be back. There is full contact jousting. The Knights of Valor are going to be out there jousting again. There's royalty that you can hang out with, or you can come and help Emma find a husband.
Oh, okay. I like the sound of that. I'm a good matchmaker. Maybe I'll stop by.
Excellent.
So this is something that is great for the whole family. That's one good thing about it. So talk a little bit about what there is for the kids and maybe for the adults as well.
So for the kids, they actually have Punch and Judy. They have puppet shows. They have interactive comedians that come out. There's people in the lanes at all times. They can come find me, and I will give them flowers because that's how I win friends and influence people. There's also going to be a couple of fun things for kids to do, a little bit different this year. We actually have a spy network. We're looking for little birds to help tweet information.
Very fun.
And we also have hidden swords throughout the entire realm this year that they can try and find, kind of like hidden Mickeys, only they're hidden swords because it's the Ren Fair.
Exactly, exactly. And of course, as always, great food, great drinks, Renaissance-style food and drinks.
Right. And for the adults, there's the beer tent and all the pubs sing and all of that fun stuff. So
great. Now, Molotov, I see you brought a bit of an accessory here with you. This is a bit of a preview of what you'll be doing this weekend. Can you tell us a little bit about what you have here and what you do with this sword of yours?
Sure. Well, at the festival, I do a show called Stupid Human Tricks, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a comedy stunt show where I do things that nobody else should do. So I eat fire, and this is a 16-inch stainless steel sword. It isn't sharp, and I swallow this. I jam it into my face.
All right. Well, why don't you take it us to commercial break here?
Okay.
Let's see what you got. The Renaissance Fair. We'll have more information on the IndyChannel.com. We'll be right back after the break.
9. Rallies and checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
You may remember seeing this on RTV6 back in February. It was around the time Beverly Guitar Watkins was celebrating her birthday. The blues musician performed with stars such as James Brown, Ray Charles, and Otis Redding, and she toured with R&B pioneer Piano Red as a young woman, making records that would influence two young Brits named John Lennon and Paul McCartney to start their own band. A few weeks ago, Watkins suffered a stroke, and this week she died at the age of 80. You also may remember this guy. Last week on RTV6, we showed you the story of Dallin Johnston. He's a percussionist for the Highland High School Marching Hawks in Gilbert, Arizona. He became a sensation for this video of him jamming during his band's show. And this week, that led to an even bigger drumming gig.
Are you aware of the fact that you're the only good thing in America right now?
Well, I think your show is pretty good, too.
Oh, well, thank you, Dallin.
Oh, that's not a bad leap to go from high school to the house band for Jimmy Kimmel live right here on RTV6. And Todd, if I had a tambourine, that's how I would be going into the weekend right now, just like that. Finally Friday.
I agree with you. They're rolling in with a nice weekend forecast. There's a little bit of rain, but it times out pretty well for us as it's Saturday night into early Sunday morning. And then by the time we get to mid-morning Sunday, the rain threat should come to an end. Otherwise, lots of sunshine today, tomorrow, and again Sunday afternoon with temperatures that will be in the 60s and 70s. Tomorrow morning, though, chilly in the 40s. And then next week looks pretty seasonable with highs in the 60s and 70s and low temperatures in the 40s.
All right, thank you. And hey, Todd, happy birthday one more time. We appreciate you so much here at RTV6, and we appreciate all of you for watching and making RTV6 your choice for news. We hope to see you back here at 5. In the meantime, get outside, enjoy that cooler weather, and have a great afternoon.